Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Screenshots. My name is Melinda, and in case you guys are new and you don't know what we do here, let me break it down. So basically, every week I get to talk to interesting people about different things that they do. So the world's best job, basically. So today, I am joined by Udilax. I hope I'm saying your name correctly.
Very well.
Udilax. So before I let him tell us more about himself, and I want to say Udilax is he's an artist who made a song on drug awareness. So it's a very important discussion topic that we want to talk about as young people, because isisibambile sibili indaba yama drugs. So Udilax, over to you. Can you please tell us more about yourself, what you do, all that good stuff?
Well, I'm a musician who's based in Bulawayo. I like to refer myself as a musician because lately I'm not too particular about the genre of the music that I'm making. So today, this latest song is a Zim dancehall type of feel. And then the ones that I've done before, I've worked on house, fusion, hip hop kind of songs. So I give myself the title of an artist because I'm versatile. Okay. So I like to experiment a lot with sounds. You can't limit creativity. Whatever comes, it comes. So I love to give people an experience of what comes to me, the creativity that I have.
Okay, so Udilax, welcome to the show.
Thank
welcome
you.
To the screenshot.
My full name is Walter
like
Lamini.
your government names.
My government name is Walter Lamini.
Yeah, but Walter. So feel free, please. You're at home now. You can relax. And
thank you.
So I want us to have this discussion. Like I said, drug abuse is something that is now young people. It's got them on a chokehold.
Yes.
And I'm glad people like you are stepping up, doing a campaign like this. As an artist, you're using your platform for what? For change, and I love that. And so the first thing I want to ask you is, what inspired you to do a drug awareness campaign song? Oh, by the way, Imumish,
yes. So Imumish is a blender. So a blender, it's a slang name that we use on an everyday basis. Branch Imumish. And I'm like, yo, I'm a momish word. So it refers to a blender. So I believe that this is a blunder that is happening in the community. So Imumishi speaks to the reason why, the inspiration behind the song. Like I understand that public figures have a responsibility to the community as well. It is people that youth are looking up to. Many people right now, the culture, the way of dressing that they dress today is because they have seen it somewhere, and mostly on public figures. So I believe now taking art now to appeal to the youth, to whoever is listening through songs now are a way of life. Nowadays, you come on the road, you meet a lot of people, bumping to music on their earphones and all that. So I believe that that's one way of appealing to the youth through what they consume on a day-to-day basis. So that is the angle that I was taking when I came up with this song.
Okay, I love that. And also, I also agree with the fact that most young people now do things because they see it with our public figures.
Yes.
And speaking about drugs, I think we mostly saw it on TV. Yeah. Like even in the movies that we watch, it seems cool to do cocaine, smoke weed, be high, go my music videos. It always seems like it's something cool. Because sorry, what you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say that is what we are talking about. And also when I'm saying, what I want to say is the community and the parents are the ones who must be responsible for ensuring what we see. The TV that we watch nowadays has got this PG, parental guidance. The content, it shouldn't be for everyone. So the parents must be particular about what the children are consuming, because some of these inspirations, they come from the content that we consume on a day-to-day basis. So it calls for also parents to look into what are your children consuming, the type of media that they're consuming. Is it something that builds up? Is it something that destroys? So I feel like it's something that we should be particular about, because if now people are watching such things which inspire people to do the wrong things, where are you as a parent? Where are you as a guardian? Where are you as a community now? Because it also stretches to the fact that the community also has a responsibility to report these things when they see them happening. So that is what I think.
Oh, so as a community, it's a blue tick, bad things, be like, this is none of my business.
Yes, because it starts from, you see other children which are not yours partaking in such, and then you leave them be. But then you forget that your children in the community, they're also associated with such people. They see it on a day-to-day basis.
But we use those kids as examples to our own kids. As yes. Walter does this. But unbeknownst to us, our kids do also hide things from us.
Which is true.
Anyway, let's talk about now your personal experiences with drugs and drug addictions, where you've seen it before and we're like, no man, this is now too much.
Well, we see it on probably Kule Mkanweni. I was staying in Mkanweni for, I think it's been 12 years, if I'm not mistaken. So why I'm saying 12 years is because those are the years that I've been a teenager, maturing to an adult. So that is the time when one gets to be aware of the surroundings, the environment. So that is the time when you start paying attention to such things that are happening. So you see a lot of people, they're destroying their future with the decisions they make, bad choices. As the president always says that, the youth are the tomorrow, the leaders of the tomorrow. So now, if people now are taking part in activities that jeopardize their tomorrow, what are we saying? Do they have a tomorrow? So looking at such things, you hear that, some of these drugs, when they take them, people don't eat. They spend days without eating. It's something of worry because your health is compromised. So basically, I feel like the experiences that you see even like when you sit next to a person who's sleeping the whole trip, you try to wake them up, you can't even wake up. Some they even dragged out of Mchova just to, because a destination, where are you going? When they, so it's something that we see on a day-to-day basis. So that is what inspired me to actually, let's talk about this.
Okay, that's. I mean, you know what I see.
Yeah.
Usually, and is with street kids when they're high.
Yeah.
How they behave, how they act, and stuff like that, and it always bothers me. So what can we do?
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the type of drugs that are now in the streets that are now popular with young people.
Yes.
Like maybe izinto ziyachinja from time to time, things are always developing, some development is good, but some people are now finding different ways to smoke something, inhale something. So what different drugs are there?
So my drugs, they can be categorized into ingestibles, some sniffables, some smokable. So we have different kind of drugs, omtoriro, we've heard of okuka. So these are names that are given locally. So, but when we translate them to English, some of them they are cocaine, some of them they're ecstasy. So those various kind of drugs that are there circulating in the market. Okay,
so they're easily accessible to young people.
Yeah, it depends. You just get there, you ask information, you ask Amaketo youths where you want to get, hooked up. When you get into the hood, you ask the right people and you're looking the right way, you can get directions. But nowadays people are first fit, you look at you. Who are you, how you dressed, like how are you speaking? Can you be trustable? But then if you dress in a way, if you speak in a way, then you get the directions.
So I'll put a reference. Reference.
Yeah, a reference, it always works. It works because people want to be particular about where did you come to know about the fact that I am the one who's supplying. Some people are very particular about that, but some can just look at you. Are you, the way you dress, the way you speak, are you going to arrest us, Pambili, or So those are the things that people look at.
Okay, so that's cool. Types of drugs, but for you to start doing drugs, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
So I know Uguti is not all just for fun and recreation. What do you think Uguti is the reason why young people are so into drugs these days? Uguti is now like a lifestyle to be high and, buzzing and all that. Why do you think that is?
I think it's a variety of factors, ranging from socio-economic factors. What I've seen is, first of all, people have too much time. There are no jobs. The youth have too much time to themselves. So at times when you have too much time, the Bible says that the idle mind is a devil's workshop. So when you are idle, when you don't have anything to do the whole day, you are easily corruptible. You are easily drawn into whatever comes your way. So people are idle nowadays. People are idle. So I feel like it's one of the factors that are contributing. And also the fact that, when you have so much time for yourself, you do not have anything to do the whole day. I mean, it's something that what do you spend your time doing? So people now feel like, I know, just to pass time, just to while time. Let me be doing something else that will make me not realize that time is passing. And eventually people will get hooked up. So I also feel like, basically that's one of the reasons why I think people...
Someone once said, people who have too much time on their hands tend to procreate more. I say, but it's like, a boredom makes people just do things like some people turn to having sexual intercourse, and then others will turn to both, have that, do drugs, chill with your friends. So we have SIT, we have a youth network.
Okay.
So we have these discussions in the evening. And so one day we had a topic on drug use. And then this one guy was like, but is it really abuse? He's like, it clears my mind. It gives me confidence. It makes me sociable, things that I don't have. Are we really saying it's bad if I'm not addicted? That was his question. And let me tell you the responses that came with it. And people are now like, because, when I'm now looking at it, and I'm like, that's what they always say. Not me. Me not against drugs. So some people are like, it makes me, in a lighter mood. I'm now able to talk to people. Maybe I'm like an introvert and stuff like that. So maybe these drugs come with what? With benefits. That was his argument.
You might feel like that, but it becomes abuse when now you don't have control. At first, you might feel like, no, I'm in control, I'm doing it for the particular reasons, but we see people now getting hooked up for, when it gets you to an extent that you don't even eat. The body needs food to function.
True.
But when I was got so good. So what are you saying? Of course, maybe people, when they're starting, when it's not yet critical, they might feel like, no, I'm in control. This is what I'm doing in order to achieve a particular purpose. I'm an introvert. I'm just trying to get myself out there. But it really gets critical when you lose control. When you now stop eating, when you can't sleep. What do we say about that?
To get it
now we're not doing it. Yes, and it also one of the things that contribute to crime, because I've come across scenarios where people become rejected in the families because of what they are addicted to. You can't be left at home with the keys, because they know what TV they might not find it when they're back. So it's something that is contributing to crime. People get arrested because they've stolen. For what purposes?
Just to patch. I can imagine a junkie. I don't know if that's like a derogatory term to call about it, but I can imagine the stress or who's addicted to drugs. And your TV is never safe. So even in the grocery, go to Hamba, and stuff like that. And most of, when your family, it's hard to sometimes kick someone out. Especially it's like, maybe I could have died giving birth to this person. But I believe, obviously, what do you know? And what do you know about teenagers who drugs? But I think, earlier when you were talking about Abazali and you were like, you should monitor, you should be there. I also believe ukuthi umzali should step up when something bad is happening ngomntanakhe.
Yeah.
Like don't be defensive, ungabi yilawyer yakho ukuthi suhamba engxenye sihambe watshontsha komakhelwane and then la ususiyakhulumisana labo and stuff like that. Akabotshwe.
This one time I came across a lady who had gone to the police to report, just saying, just arrest this boy. He's now causing me trouble at home. But the question is, where were you at the time when that person was going through changes? Because if you're staying with someone, you take note, you pay attention to the changes that are happening to a person. You can't say it took you by surprise that someone is behaving in this particular manner. And have you seen also the videos that circulate online, people assaulting their parents? They're circulating online, such videos. I came across one. I was showing my mother, I think 2 weeks ago. So I believe that those are some of the things that are contributing, because you lose a sense of, I don't know what to call it, conscience, so to say. Would it, for you now to differentiate, but this is my parent. But if you get to an extent of now assaulting your own mother, I feel like the society can't do anything about you anymore. I mean, mothers are sacred from where we come from. They're very sacred. That's one institution that when you see someone say then you feel like, no, there's nothing in
They're not only sacred, mama.
Yeah.
You know, like you find the biggest men out there and you shiver, mama. So mouse figure like that fear we feel for someone else. And,
yeah.
But then when you reach that point,
yeah.
But you were saying when come on, Walton.
No,
let's not put fault in other people.
It's a contributing factor. I'm just saying that what we learn when you're growing up, most of the things that you are today, you observe them. You watch through observation. A child now, whatever, if you have a baby, maybe if you have a child, you know that the language that the baby speaks is your language, the day-to-day terms that you use. So which means they copy from you, whatever they do, they emulate. They see
the external environment.
Yes, it's there.
Kids go to school, they play with friends.
Which is true.
Internet,
yes.
for one. There's just a lot of factors, I think, that contribute to that.
True that. But what I'm saying is, these things can't surprise you when they happen. I mean, you have to see someone going through some changes and then take action. That's what I'm saying. Whatever happens, you can't say as a parent, I never noticed how they changed. I don't even know how they... Yes, you were there. What were you paying attention to?
Damn. Okay. So now let's move on to your song. Can you break down some lyrics for us? For like, what's like, you can choose a couple of lyrics that stand out for you and you can break them down to us. One, where was your headspace? What was your message there?
So ngake ngatshona imumishi ngagijima ngagcwala ilokishi ngathi futhi nikisi okumapholisa akufuna isibindi. Have you ever come across the police when they're doing the job?
But I'll be far away.
So it's angeke ngatshona iblanda. I was picturing what happened, because you remember the president, when he was speaking last year, he commanded the police to take action against people who are peddling, people who are distributing, people who are engaged. So I was picturing that, what the police are now getting to do, because online I came across some videos where police were doing stop and checks. So it means that also they did raids. So it was me taking a stance of someone who is caught during a raid. Police doing raids, because you see in the music video they are watching closely as someone is doing a trade, and then they go on to act on that. So and then I'm running. So it was me dramatizing the whole raid scenario.
Another one. I think you should know it.
So but Lola is sticky, but tata yena.
I remember him saying that, like, oh, president.
Yeah.
I won't butcher it. Yeah. He said that I'm totally sticky.
Yeah. So in that case, it's I was trying to amplify the message by the president of taking action. Lola yustikile tatayena, longo mtoriro tatayena. It's what he said. Those are the words that he said. So I was repeating on them on the song. So we were trying to show the gravity of the matter. It's now at a national level. So when we're using, the voice of the president, I believe it brings authority. Yeah, brings attention to the whole subject. So no, this is serious. It's a national issue. So,
okay. Yeah. Like your music video, it shows a lot of authority and police are waya. So if it's easy for me, what's your take on this? If it's easy for me to go to a kasi and find out ukuthi ekhoneni laphana ogayela bana bathengisa impanje. Why is it difficult? Do you think it's difficult for the police to do the same thing and then like rain down on these people? What is the problem? In your point of view, our police or authority figures, they are not arresting these people that we know. Are they letting us down? What do you think?
Now, what I believe is police act on information. When information is brought up to them, they act. So are these things being reported? Are these people getting reported? Because in my music video, you can see the people that were running, I was running, and the other guy who was there, he was never caught. And we're trying to put out that message that, people are getting away with these things. Even like when police act on it, people are getting away. Or at times, people are not being caught because such information is not coming forward. So whose role is it in the community to make sure that the police receive the information to act on? So I believe these things are happening, but not many people are coming forward about it to report that these are the things that are happening.
But I feel like, they should be, it's their job, they should be in the forefront, maybe I watch a lot of movies, I'm undercover, stuff like that, because I feel like in a way, they are letting us and our youth and our community down by not doing something, because that house, they literally sell. Everyone knows. Even like a police station, they know. But it's like, okay, I won't speak. Obviously, I'm not saying they're not doing anything because I don't know the full stories. But I just feel like sometimes we know, but we don't do anything.
Look, like I said, police act on the information. Picture this: if a robbery happened, you're working at night, you're robbed. How do you expect the police to know when you don't report that crime? I'm just putting as an example. Look, now what I'm saying is these distributions are happening in the community. People in the community are watching as these things are happening. So now a policeman is stationed probably 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers away from where you are. How do you expect them to act on the information when the information is not coming forward? So also the community has a role of whistleblowing, just that, to combat these things from happening,
Okay, I can understand that. Maybe it's not seven.
Yeah. Because even the president invited communities, church leaders, different people in the community, stakeholders to come together to ensure that these things are brought to book. So the information, your information in the community is very important in ensuring that these things are dealt with.
Okay, I understand. So in your music video, video yako ayiphelile. Like, it's Chiaguleng as like, we're now waiting for Game of Thrones season 2. Can you tell us why it ends the way that it ends?
It ends the way that it ends. It has a message of action at the end of the video. A message of action of inviting people. As I said, that the president was inviting different people to come together to ensure that these things are brought to book. So the ending is open-ended, and it ends with a message of calling upon people to come together to unite in dealing with this matter. So as I said, that not only one person is responsible, can be responsible of dealing with this thing, but people coming together, it will mean a lot in, a step in the right direction towards ensuring that these matters are solved. So I ended it with the message of, calling people together. So I'm not saying that I've done my part, and I did my part. I'm raising awareness. The president did his part. He's doing his part, actually. He's going around the country advocating for, action to be taken against drugs and substance abuse. But that is not the end, because when people speak, action must be taken. So if we're saying that this is something that is really bothering, that is a huge matter that is bothering people even in the community, what are we saying? We're saying we're inviting people, to come up, bring their heads together, to come up with a way forward. How can we deal with this? So it's open-ended. It's got a message of bringing people together to say, come, you see something happening, don't just leave it like that, because it's not someone who's directly linked to you, maybe a relative or whatever is doing that, but it might spill to those that you love, and it becomes an area of concern. So it's open-ended in that sense. We're calling people to come together, let's deal with this. It is something that is happening in our midst, and we can see it happening, but we have to do something about it.
Okay, I understand. I hope those who had questions will understand. So let's play a little thing here before we close off. Yeah. It's called Myth or Facts.
Okay.
And so we have to lama misconceptions drugs, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I want us to do myth or fact.
Okay.
And so I'll call out something and I'll read out a statement and you say whether you think it's a myth or a fact.
Okay.
Okay, first thing. Using drugs is only a problem for teenagers and young adults. Myth or fact?
Myth.
It's a myth.
Yes.
I feel like this one is obvious because drugs can affect people all ages.
Yes.
What. Myth or fact? Prescription drugs are not addictive.
Myth.
It's a myth.
Yeah. Yeah, we are told, if you read some of those prescriptions that we have, they're written that do not use for 10 days without consulting a doctor. So which means there are effects, side effects of continually using them. Especially
what is that? Myth or fact? Okay, smoking marijuana is harmless. This one's a bit controversial.
It's controversial because we see in America there are some states that have legalized the use of marijuana, and so it's
with its healing powers.
So I think maybe they came. Yeah, I would rather say it's a myth, and I believe that they have come to realize the medical benefits that maybe are outweighing maybe the damages that are caused by the continual use of
marijuana.
Yeah.
So here it reads, marijuana. While marijuana may have some medicinal benefits, smoking it can still have negative effects on lung health and cognitive function.
Yeah.
So Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Myth or fact? Drug addiction is a moral failing. I don't know why I'm laughing. Drug addiction. Myth or fact? Drug addiction is a moral failing.
It's a fact.
You think so? You think it's morally, it's in you what you failed morally?
Yeah. I mean, we were given the freedom to choose between right and wrong. And you have seen how it has affected other people. So which means that it's a wrong. So that is my opinion.
Okay, here they say it's a myth.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. Drug addiction is a chronic disease that requires treatment and support, not moral judgment.
I'll not say my opinion on that because where I was going to take it, it was going to bring a lot of controversy. But when you look at
can you be controversial for a minute?
Okay, let me be. Have you noticed that some of these things, as Funuswas, people from the West, they say that these are things that maybe are medical conditions or what. In Togo, I was growing up when my mother saw me doing this young. Yeah. So they have come up with medical terms for everything. you know, onje. So
strict, wait, very strict, I can see.
yeah.
Don't
So,
believe in gentle parenting.
so some of these things, when you watch them, like for example, food addiction.
Maybe sometimes we shouldn't judge things that we don't know, guys. You know, just because you've never been in that situation, you know, especially as Black people, we don't understand a lot of things that we see being done, especially in Western culture. We find them so weird,
Yeah,
but it's because we've never been white or any other race, so we don't know.
I think it's because my mother had a solution to everything, and it was the stick. The stick could solve a lot of things. These things that we call addiction, my mother would beat the addiction out of you. So maybe it's how I was raised up.
All right, I hear you. So to close off, what were your main goals for the song, and what is next for Deluxe World?
Okay. My goals for the song is for it to, you know, gain national recognition, especially in, you know, around people that want to take action. You know, the organizations, the individuals, you know, that feel the need to, you know, take on this drugs and substance abuse. You know, so I would like to collaborate with them. You know, because I feel like, you know, coming together, then it means that we can have solutions. So I hope that it's going to have the impact that I'm looking forward to in those spaces.
Okay. And what's next for you?
I'm working on a couple of projects as well. The next thing for me, I'm going to release a song as well about the importance of condomizing, you know, protecting yourself from STIs. So I've taken the stance to, you know, address to these things, but, you know, you don't take a serious, you know, when you're talking to people, at times, you know, trying to take a serious stance, you may lose people altogether. But I try by all means to use, you know, a stance, say, comedy to bring attention to the whole subject. So if it's also intriguing whilst it's giving out a message, I feel like it can go a long way.
That's from Kazega. It's not
Yeah.
just the one to be told.
Kazega violated, but why not
Yeah,
you know?
drugs, man, so strict, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Walter. I really enjoyed our conversation. So I'll see you next time on my condo, man. When we're talking about condomizing, not condoms, but we're talking about condomizing.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for all those who stuck through for this 30 minutes and watched the rest or watched all of the show. Can you please leave your love for Walter Tabakit? He's doing something, you know, for the community. Leave a like, a comment, support him, go watch his music video, Deluxe Mumish. So until next week, bye bye.